Have you ever wondered if great white sharks know when we're watching them from above? It's a question I get asked all the time. My name is Carlos, and I'm a professional drone pilot and photographer based in Southern California. I film sharks in many parts of the world, and this question keeps coming up. Do sharks sense the drone? Ever since I spotted my first great white shark while standing atop this very point, I've been wondering, can they see the drone above the water? In the water, it's a different story. They can feel electrical currents, they can see the camera, but from above, can they sense the drone? This week, we're diving into drone footage that might reveal whether great white sharks are aware that I'm watching. And I'll show you some footage you probably have never seen before. Before we dive deeper, let's take a quick look at how sharks sense the world around them. Great whites, and sharks in general, seem to have superpowers when it comes to senses. Their first superpower, electroreception. Sharks are equipped with tiny gel-filled pores on their snouts called ampullae of Lorenzini. These allow them to detect the faint electrical signals emitted by living animals, like the heartbeat of a fish buried in the sand. But just like sound and smell, electroreception only works underwater. A flying drone produces no electrical field that the shark can detect. Above the surface, this sense is essentially useless. The most widely known sense is likely to be smell, mainly because this is what's most used in popular media and that one famous movie that started it all. I remember vividly sitting in the cage filming this shark approaching a tuna head, and I remember wondering if it was being guided primarily by scent or vision. Sharks are famous for their incredible sense of smell. But scent travels underwater. It doesn't help them detect something in the air, like a drone. Another key sense is hearing. Sharks pick up low-frequency vibrations. Think of a wounded fish or splashing prey, something I covered in last week's video. Even the sound of a bird on the surface produces sound. This shark is likely both seeing and hearing the bird, and it's obviously interested. But drones, they emit high-pitched sound frequencies, which likely don't travel far or at all through the water. In fact, sound studies have shown that the sound of a drone is below the natural ambient sound of the ocean, meaning sharks likely can't hear it. On occasion, I've observed sharks briefly coming out of the water. This behavior is known as spyhopping. Spyhopping is when a marine animal lifts its head above the water to look around. It's well documented in whales and orcas, but in sharks, especially great whites, it's rare and not well understood. Some scientists believe it's a form of curiosity. Others think the shark may be tracking scent trails that reach the surface or reacting to movement or light. But unlike marine mammals, sharks don't have external ears or binocular vision, so their ability to see and interpret what's above the water is still a mystery. When a great white spyhops, it might be following instinct, or it might be responding to something we can't see. And that brings us to the one sense that could connect both worlds, air and sea: vision. Sharks can see well in low light and are especially good at detecting contrast. It's part of what makes them such effective hunters. They often rely on silhouettes from below, like a seal against a sunlit surface. So if there's anything that might give away a drone, it's not the sound, it's not the smell, but the shadow that it casts. And in some of the footage I've captured, the shark's movement seems to suggest it sees something. A hesitation, a glance, and even a change in direction often occurs. But is it reacting to the drone, or just the shifting light on the ocean? Let's take a closer look. Watch the drone's shadow here. This shark has clearly responded to it. In fact, it is chasing it. Notice how active the shark becomes on the shadow. It's like pointing a laser at a cat to chase. Comparing a shark chasing a shadow like a cat chasing a laser is not something I ever expected to discover. This behavior really made me wonder if there may be some useful applications for shark deterrent methods that could be based on visual cues. I wondered if a shadow could be used to move a shark from a shallow surf zone to deeper water. So I tested an attempt to redirect a shark away from the shore using only the drone's shadow. Here is how that played out. The result is quite surprising. It's absolutely mind-blowing that this seems to have worked. Watch how this shark just becomes obsessed with trying to catch the shadow. Like a cat on a laser indeed. Eventually, it was clear I could move the shark anywhere I wanted. Again, I could not believe this, so I wondered if this could be replicated with a different shark. Could I get the same result? Here's another. This shark was in the shallows, and once again, I was able to grab its attention and move it away. How about another shark? Again, the same result. So far, I've been able to document this behavior with young white sharks in a 6 to 8 foot range, juvenile white sharks. One thing these young sharks did is accelerate toward the shadow. In a stunning display of their form and their speed, the young white sharks were not shy about gaining speed. It's pretty evident the sharks see the shadow. That is pretty much undeniable. Naturally, I wondered if the bigger sharks would react the same way. This is an 8 to 10 foot tagged white shark. It's on the bigger side of juvenile size, but it is chasing the shadow. The intrigue remains. And with another shark in the same size range, once again, it's drawn to the shadow. Would an adult do the same? This is an adult white shark, and it's just become intrigued by the drone's shadow. But watch this. Much like the younger ones, it accelerates towards it. It confirms that regardless of age, the sense of sight can't be understated. There's something about the shadow, its contrast, its shape, or maybe something we don't fully understand that makes it irresistible to sharks. While my goal is always to observe, not interfere, it could hint at something useful, an insight into vision-based deterrents or even new ways to safely redirect sharks from shallow areas. They can't hear it, they can't sense it electrically, they probably don't even see the device itself. But the shadow, that's different. As a photographer, knowing they can see the shadow means I have a responsibility to keep it away if I want a true uninterrupted glimpse into their natural behavior. That awareness is how you get moments like this. pure, undisturbed, real. But then there are moments like this, where a shark seemingly leaps out of the water, right near the drone. I still watch that over and over with awe. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that drones have revolutionized how we witness marine life. Whether it's orcas on the hunt or humpback whales breaching in sink, this flying camera has become our window into a world until recently only birds could see. Thanks for watching, and keep it real.